Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing well. So without wasting any time, let's move to the newspaper. First we will identify the important news and then we'll move on to the analysis section. So this is 1 May 2022 Sunday, the Hindu Delhi edition. So we'll be, as usual, we'll be first identifying the most important news followed by a detailed discussion of the same. So let's move forward and see what are the most important news today. Okay, become address of former not important. Government ignoring court order says CGI contempt petition pose new burden on judiciary. Okay, we'll give it a very brief read. I don't think this is very important, but still. ED seizes 5,551 crores of Xiaomi India. Oh my god, such huge amount. It would be under, I think, ED has said, na, then FCRA. FEMA, not FCRA, FEMA. It would be under FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. Okay, we don't need to see this, just know this, that these things are happening, right? PM for use of local language in court. Okay, so he has championed for local language in court. We have to just give it a brief read, nothing more than that. No news on that, nothing here. Let's see who can move the Gazipur mounts. 3 fire later, agencies government continue to blame each other. Okay, think from distance smoke billows from Gazipur landfill. Yes, I was thinking that it is about landfill. So just know it as an example, right? Gazipur landfills. There are also landfill in Delhi landfills, right? And these are catching what? Fire. So this is an example of what? Environmental degradation due to anthropogenic causes, right? Just know it for, know this for, not more than that. Okay, there is nothing else here. Let's move to the next page. Okay, there is nothing out here. Need of the hour. Yes, this is, just know this, vacancies are there and there are a lot of cases pending in all over India, right? Traditional wisdom keeps native seed alive. Yes, we'll see this. Rice mill being installed for rice fortification. Okay, so what is fortified rice? You have read it in your statics. Tell me in the response tell me your response in the comment box, right? If you really want to be profited from this newspaper analysis, and do response. Okay, there is nothing out here. Okay, General Manoj Pandey is the new army chief, and look, he is General Nanavne, he is General Manoj Pandey, right? So asset of 7.27 crores seized from actor known as Jacqueline Fernandez. Okay, not important. POSCO award death sentence to 2 children means what? POSCO court has the power to give death sentence as well. Just remember this. Okay. Drama high for Manipur village scarred by conflict. Okay, not important. Attempt to, not important. Austin support network to give specialized care in rural India. Autism support network. Okay, we'll just give it a brief read so that we can get a case study. Okay, case study for child issues, right? Where it is? GS1. Okay, society section. GS2 for social justice section, right? We'll get a case study from you. Very brief read we'll be doing, right? Not very long. Heat waves are starting earlier than before. Yes, we'll see this. CMs assure CGI Ramana better court security. Yes, okay. Don't go to park to pursue medical courses panel. Not eligible to practice in India. Okay. Gross green violations in Sundarban, says Comptroller and Auditor General of India. We'll give it a read. Bengal jute crisis, BJP MP summoned to New Delhi. Dry spell sparks wildfire across Himachal. Yes, this is also important. Russia strikes Kharkiv, Eastern Donbass. I don't know when this is going to end, and nobody wants the war to end. Okay, 1 to 3 days is understandable, but it is going on for months. It has reached a state of stalemate. And this man again, Kim, threatens preemptive use of nuclear weapon. What to say? Therefore, they shouldn't be given nuclear weapon. Okay. Let's say more than 20 trapped in China will not important. Boost now. This is the science and tech page. Okay, booster dose may not. As usual, we'll do all the news from this page, right? From the science and technology page, we always do all the news. So we'll do all the news from here. Now let's see what else we have. Why are electric vehicles catching fire? Okay, we'll give it a brief read to understand the situation why and such thing happens. And yes, there is also this infographics. This can help us, right? And what is this? Intense heat. What is driving up temperature beyond normal in north, west, and central east and east India? Okay. State versus center. Who increased the fuel tax? Okay, the entire page is very good today. We'll give it a brief read. Okay. The man who no. The Dalit young Turk. No. Realization under IBC better bet than liquidation. Okay, we'll see. We don't have to see much thing here. Look, it is just saying that if you realize the challenges under RBC of firms, right? Firms liquidation. So if you get a better option by using IBC, why are you going to liquidate that fund, that firm, right? So realization under IBC is obviously, yes, it is better than that. It's nothing wrong in that. Need system to study IBC. Okay, there is nothing out here. Now we reach to the sports page. As usual, we won't get much news here required to our examination, right? Dhoni back as CSK skipper. Okay. Suryakumar assessed the chase as Mumbai Indians. Okay. Time running out for Super Kings and Risers hope to bounce back from previous game. Fine. And we reach the news in flames page. Okay, what is this? Sand? No, it seems paddy. Yes, it is paddy and they're drying it on the road. Okay, a Temple Town paddy field. Okay. Okay, so with this we come to end of news identification. So let's now directly jump to the news analysis. Okay, so the first news is government ignoring court order, says CJI. Contempt petitions pose new burden on judiciary. So what is the problem of government ignoring court order? It directly goes to increased contempt petitions. Okay, the sheer defiance of government towards judicial pronouncement and their inclination to pass of the responsibility of decision making to court and legislature ambiguity, lacks of foresight and public consultation before making law have led to docket explosion. Okay, these have forced the judiciary to dab in policy to render justice to common man, he said at a joint conference of Chief of Justice and Chief Minister attended by Prime Minister Modi. CJI pointed how courts had to deal with new problem of contempt petition triggered by deliberate inaction. Okay, contempt petition and deliberate inactions, right, of government. The contempt petitions are new category of burden on the court which directly results of defiance by the government. Okay, PM for use of local language in the court. The government was working to draft laws not only to sound legal terminology but also in popular language that makes it easy for citizens to understand the law. He also urged the state government to repeal obsolete and archaic law. At the joint conference, he said that nearly 3.5 lakh under trials were in jail for petty offences and appealed to the Chief Minister and Chief Justice to give priority to such cases so that prisoners could be released on bail. Okay, so this may be a good initiative. Maybe what it is a good idea that yes, use local languages so that it increase the understanding of law for local people. Okay, this will lead to what? This will lead to better compliance with law. Fine. Many people do not know law and they go on to commit the crime. But there are two angles to it. If people will know law better, then what can happen? They can misuse the loopholes of laws as well to cover up their crime. But in spite of all those things, we must give priority to local languages to be used in court so that it becomes universal. But then one problem more will be there. Let's say if in Tamil Nadu they use Tamil, right? In Kerala they use Malayalam. Okay, now when one has to cite the order of Kerala High Court, first it need to be translated into Tamil and then it could be cited. But in translation, what happens? In translation, actually many times what happens that the spirit of the thing may go missing, right? The spirit of the article, the spirit of the judgment pronounced may go missing, and that may be a problem. So there must be a common second language, and so English can become a second language and the top language can be your this. Okay, so let's see other news. Okay, now let's move to the next page. There was nothing here. There was you know this. You understand this news now? So let's move to the next page. Okay. Filling of vacancies in High Court. Okay, you just give it a read. I don't think it is very important. Traditional wisdom keeps native seed alive. Fine. Let's just give it a read. Tribal women initiative comes to rescue of marginal farmer in Rajasthan district. Okay, so this could be a case study for native seeds, right? Till day and traditional wisdom. Restoring the link between crop diversity and climate resilience. Tribal women in Rajasthan Banswara district have utilized traditional wisdom to prevent indigenous seed varieties which are on the verge of extinction. Okay, the initiative has immensely helped small and marginal farmers in the region. Women group, which named itself Saksham Samuh, has taken up prevention of seed as a mission in the form of Bij Swaraj or seed sovereignty, helping the tribal community with training and guidance. The group is supplying seed to the farmer regularly for cultivation of crops and vegetable. Okay, the indigenous seed varieties are inherently compatible with local farming conditions, economically practical and environmentally more sustainable than the high yielding varieties being used in agriculture. Besides, these seeds are pest resilient, require very limited use of chemical fertilizer. Now let me ask you one question. What? Yeah, let's don't ask, go for a question. Let me make you understand this thing. High yielding variety or green revolution practices, right? It comes as a package. Means you must have high yielding variety seeds. You must have irrigation facilities, you must have chemical fertilizers. Okay, then only if all three are present, then high productivity. If anything is absent, crop fails, right? So it is saying that only. But what happens, what kind of seed is this? This is the local seed, therefore it is adapted to the local agroeconomical ecological conditions. Okay, so it will be more reliable, more viable, more cheaper than the HYV variety, requires less irrigation, very least amount of chemical fertilizers, because it is more sustainable than them. So it is good for marginalized farmers who do not have enough money to even buy seeds. Fine. Saksham Samuh has utilized traditional technique for filling up the seed in sack, sealing them and keeping them in granary for the next crop season. We decide on seed during the harvesting crop and then keep them separately based on their weight and quantity. To get vegetable seed, women allow the vegetable to ripen and let them dry, separate the seed and keep them in store. While several farmers are dependent on government agencies or private firms for getting seeds, Women Initiative has provided them with an alternative which they are keeping the indigenous seed alive. Okay, so by this thing what the Samu is doing, it is keeping the indigenous seed alive. Okay, women in the tribal dominated region has been preserving seeds as family tradition and tribal culture. We have taken forward this tradition by giving it institutional shape. Okay, while affirming that women had learned the technique to identify the quality and quantity of seeds to be preserved in their family. Okay, this learning has been not from one or two generations, from many generations this learning has been there, right? Banswara based Vagdhara, which works on the tribal livelihood issues, has generated awareness among the tribal community about significance of indigenous seed. Vagdhara secretary said the concept of green revolution has drastically shifted the focus of agriculture from biodiversity to high yielding crop, creating what? Creating monocropping and green deserts. Okay, this has resulted in reduction of genetic base of traditional seed variety that are now on the verge of extinction, Mr. Joshi said. Okay, so we understand this. This is a good case study. Okay, case study can be written where? Impacts of green revolution. Okay, traditional wisdom case study, native seed case study, anywhere you can write this. Fine. Now let's move to the next one. Tell me in the comment box just what is rice fortification, fortify. What is the difference between rice fortification and adding impurities to rice? Okay, what are the terms called? And we are on this page, and obviously we found nothing there as usual. Okay, we'll see this. Autism support network to help specialized care in rural area. Okay, to enable mentoring, skilling and livelihood for people with autism, to create awareness of autism spectral disorder and help people to understand, accept and support individuals with autism, their parents and caregivers. Tata Power Community Development Trust has partnered with Center for Autism and Other Disabilities Rehabilitation Research Education, a non-profit organization in Thiruvananthapuram, to launch Pay Autism, a different mind in gifted mind. Pay autism, a different mind, is a gifted mind. In India's first digital autism support network. Okay, so it is going on in Thiruvananthapuram. So you can write Thiruvananthapuram model of autism support. Just write like this, it feels very good that yes, you know things. Initiatives help pave way for small towns and rural India to access specialized care and support and help create an auxiliary network of champions for differently abled. Yes, this is very important because they also have the right to dignified life. This platform also enables mentoring skills and all those things. Okay, let's see if anything else is there. The project aims to create a network of grassroots champions, enable early identification. This is most important thing. First level care, teach social skills, ways to ease activities for daily living, holds workshop for sensory and motor development, art and craft, dance, music, therapy, physical and mental fitness, communication skills, etc., etc. Okay, so these will be the benefited for. These will be the benefits for the autistic person. They will be given care from early childhood, right? This would lead to better development, social development for that person, right? Okay. And what is aim? To unlock the possibility of autistic individual through professional care and support, lighting up their lives and ensuring we walk the path of truly leaving no one behind, right? So these are all things. Just know it is a case study that could be used very effectively here and there in your answer. Okay. Now heat waves starting earlier than before. WMO, World Meteorological Organization, has said this. Okay, a large part of India and Pakistan experiences scorching temperature. UN Specialized Agency has said while it is premature to attribute extreme heat in two countries solely to climate change, it is consistent with changing climate, with heat waves starting earlier than past. WMO said on Friday it's premature to attribute the extreme heat in India and Pakistan solely on climate change and all those things. It has said. The global body added that National Meteorological and Hydrological Department in both countries are working closely. Okay, now let's see. Heat waves have multiple and cascading impacts on human health, but also on ecosystem, agriculture, water and energy supplies and key sectors of economy. Okay, WMO said, adding that the risks to society underlying why it is committed to ensuring that multi-hazard early warning system reach the most vulnerable. Okay, so it is saying that spillover effect / cascading effects, yeah, impacts, right? It is talking about that only. Fine, it is easy than what we think. In the pre-monsoon period, India and Pakistan regularly experience excessive high temperature, especially in May. Heat wave do occur in April, but less common. Okay, nothing much there. Gross green violations in Sundarban, says Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Let's give it a read. It's actually very important. Construction at East Kolkata wetland, okay, is also against CRZ norms, says the report. A recent audit report of CAG has pointed out illegal construction and violation of environmental norms in two Ramsar sites in West Bengal, the East Kolkata wetland and the Sundarban. Yes, these are the two Ramsar sites. They were illegally constructions in East Kolkata wetland and coastal regulation zone area in Sundarban. However, such violations even in these ecological fragile areas were rarely found to have been penalized. On a couple of rare occasions where they were done, it was compliance with the Kolkata High Court order. Okay. The report was made public in the last week of March before West Bengal Legislative Assembly. The EKW, a unique peri-urban ecosystem that lies on the eastern fringes of Kolkata, covers an area of 12,500 hectares. It is spread over 37 maujas of state, south and north 24 Pargana districts. The CAG report pointed out the failure to delineate boundary of the EKW and uncontrolled transfer of land resulted in change of character and lack of effective action by East Kolkata Wetland Management Authority. Okay, in absence of effective measures, what had happened? Water bodies were dried up, filled illegally since 2007. It has been identified 375 cases of violation, out of which 100 cases were identified between 15 and 20. Okay, how hovercraft station? CAG has also raised a red flag about the hovercraft station as in Fraserganj. Indian Coast Guard applied for setting up a hovercraft station. Okay. CRJ's notification disallows construction of residential building in no development zone. CRJ's clearance by the West Bengal Coastal Zone Management Authority for construction of buildings was against the notification. Okay. Also, there are VIP rest houses in ecologically sensitive areas in Sundarban. CAG report has highlighted serious violation of CRZ norms in Sundarbans, particularly of an ecotourism project as The West Bengal government has undertaken a project as an ecotourism hub after clearing 69 acres of mangrove. Oh my god. General breeding the place of crocodiles were claimed by the project. Okay, breeding places of crocodiles were also taken up. So this is actually a very gross violation of things. It should not be happening in India, right? So I hope the West Bengal government will take care of this. Fine. Let's move forward. Dry spells spark wildfire across Himalayas. So you know there are several reasons of wildfire. One of the reason is dry spell. Other reasons is your what we say alien species, anthropogenic causes. Give me a name of alien species. Yes, it is lantana. You are correct. Lantana. Okay, anthropogenic causes, etc. Prolonged dry spells coupled with unusually high temperature in recent days has triggered many wildfires, destroying several hectares of forest. The early onset of summer this year in Hill posed a major challenge to state government. There has been 719 incidents now. Okay, till April 28 this year, as many as 719 incident of forest fire has been reported, affecting close to 6,000 hectares of land. Okay. Now, what are the reasons? Let's see. Let's try to find out where they are written, because the data are not important. We are witnessing a prolonged dry spell this year. There is hardly any moisture in the soil. Atmospheric temperature and dryness offer favorable circumstances for fire to start in forest. This usually warm weather and big reason for spots in fire. So what is the reason? There are twofold reasons. First is your what? Dry spell. Plus second reason is what? Lack of moisture, right? And third reason is heat waves. And these three reasons has done what? It has created wildfires. Okay, give it a read. I don't think it is very tough to understand. Just give it a read. It has been identified for you, right? And there are nothing else. If you want to make a case study, then just make a case study that due to these things happening. An example, Himachal wildfires, right? This could be just an example. And again, this page, it saddens me a lot when I see that war hasn't ended till date. Nobody wants the war to end. Okay. As usual, we'll be doing the science page in a separate video, right? Because it requires a lot of time and understanding. Okay. So let's see why electric vehicle catching fire. Right. Let's see the infographic to understand things first. Is the battery causing the problem? What safety measures need to be followed to prevent explosion? Okay. Yes, the battery will cause problem. Short circuiting can be a problem because it's electric vehicle. Then short circuiting is always a problem. Okay. Let's see what kind of battery it uses. Lithium ion battery, right? Technology has reached limit of efficiency. What happens? Cathode anode is there and ions are exchanged over liquid. Okay. Battery charged and travel from cathode to anode to electrolyte. Free electron passes from anode to cathode, providing powering the device. Nothing is there. Look, cathode is positive, so it will do what? Anode is negative, so anode will obviously attract electrons, protons or the positive ions, and it will attract what? Anions attracted, and here what? Cations attracted, right? So what is a cation? Electron is a cation. So it will what happens then? Electron from this anode negatively charged thing start to move, and we know that movement of electron creates electricity. What is current? Current is the movement of electron, so current is created. Now circuit needs to be completed. Now just this thing is left. So electron comes in here in this plate, and this cathode will become negative or neutral because one, say it is charged with one plus charge, and you got a minus charge, so it becomes neutral, but it cannot be neutral because of its nature. So it will expel a proton, say, right? It does not expel a proton, obviously electron only moves, but say it expels a proton for understanding, and this positive charge will get attracted to this anode, so the entire circuit gets completed, and thus we have a current electricity flowing. What is the explosion risk? Look, there can be a crash will lead to what? Crash, penetration, internal short circuiting. As I said, there can be a short circuiting, overcharging, okay, overheating. These are the multiple things. So this can be classified as mechanical abuse, electric abuse, thermal abuse. Thermal abuse, overcharging. Electric abuse, like short circuiting, overcharge, undercharging, those things can be there. And your mechanical abuse, crush and penetration, right? So this mechanical abuse leads to what? Deformation, separation, tearing. Okay. Electric abuse leads to what? Dendrite growth and piercing separators. thermal will lead toward high temperature collapse of separator, and if separator gets damaged, then what happens? There is an internal short circuit, and internal short circuit will lead toward thermal runaway. High temperature will be created, air will provide oxygen, and electrolytic vapors and other flammable gas will catch fire. This is what happens, right? So due to very high due to breaking down of separator, what happens? There is a thermal runaway, means there is the temperature increase to start drastically. Start to increase drastically, and we have some we have some flammable gases in there, and in presence of oxygen they all start to get oxidized, right, in that temperature, high temperature, and it catches fire. Okay, you give it a read. I have told you the gist. Okay, what can be done? If it is written, then I'll give it a read. Okay, what can be done? Think. For decreasing mechanical abuse, use sensors so that it cannot crush. For electrical abuse, again, internal short circuits are there, sensors are one option. Here also better driving skills, right? This is also option. Here sensors are the most important option, and here sensors are most important. So you have to make it more AI based, right? This is more required now. Okay, what is driving up temperature beyond normal? As we have read right now only, usually periods of high temperature are punctuated by periodic episodes of rain, but this was largely absent during March-April. Colder than normal condition in Pacific Ocean failed to aid rainfall in north. Okay, give it a read, you'll understand this very easily. It is a basic geography. State versus center, who increased the fuel tax rate? The left axis shows revenue, okay, earned by the center through excise duty and state tax on petroleum. The right axis shows the petroleum consumption in India. Fine. Petrol is retailing more than 100 liters. The primary reason for this is increase in pump prices or gradual rise in union government excise duty component. As said, while some states followed the cut in VAT, many others did not. On Wednesday, as I said, all those things are clear. How much has center tax on fuel increased? Center excise duty on petrol in October 2018 was 17.98, means about 18 per liter. In February 2022, it is, oh my god, means 28 per liter, 10 rupees. Central excise duty has increased, and you know that excise duty does not constitute what? Divisible pool of taxes, right? In this period, the central comptroller expanded. So, by how much the tax levied by state has risen? Kerala charged 30.08% as sales tax, along with 1 rupee per liter additional sales tax plus 1% cess. Telangana 35.2, West Bengal 25 or 13.12 liter, whichever was higher. Fine. There are different. Obviously, they will be different for different state. Okay. In non-BJP state, this rate increase, but in BJP, how can impact state tax and center's excise duty on petrol be measured? Central excise duty collection on crude oil and petroleum, and the state VAT collection on petroleum products as percentage of GDP. Central collection have increased from 0.79 to 1.88. State tax collection has marginally declined from 1.1% to 1.02%. Another measure could be, okay, for instance, share in retail price of petrol with center state tax share. In Delhi it was 26.4%. In May it was 2014 it was 14%. Now it has become almost double. 17%. Okay. So all said, there are two conclusions from this, that yes, the cess that is levied by center can be decreased, and VAT of state can also be decreased. These two things if done, then petrol prices can be taken care of, right? And then we have nothing on these pages. I don't think if we have anything here, no. So with this we end to the news analysis section for today, right? As usual, you know, I'll be doing the science and technology section in a separate video. So with this we have come to the end of today's news analysis. Your homework is, tell me in comment box two things. One, already asked in lecture. If you don't know, not lecture, in this explanation, if you don't know, then get into the explanation, see the video again, and you will come to know what it is. And second is, as usual, which is which case study example you will use and how, right? So with this I'm ending today's lecture. Fine. Okay. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.